Have you ever wondered if the world's most powerful families are secretly connected, pulling the strings of global events from behind the scenes? What if I told you there's a theory that links 13 of these families directly to an ancient, powerful group known as the Illuminati? This isn't just a random idea. It's the core of Fritz Springmeier's controversial work, Bloodlines of the Illuminati, and today, we're diving deep into this shadowy world. Forget what you think you know, because we're about to explore the alleged secret history that shapes our present. So, who are these 13 families? According to the theory, names like Astor, Bundy, Collins, DuPont, Freeman, Kennedy, Lee, Onassis, Reynolds, Rockefeller, Rothschild, Russell, and Van Dyne are at the top of the pyramid. These aren't just wealthy families. The theory claims they are dynasties that have passed down power, influence, and a secret agenda through generations. It suggests their control isn't just about money, but about a deep, almost spiritual dedication to a long-term plan for the world. Let's start with two of the most famous names on the list, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. The Rothschilds, a banking dynasty that rose to prominence in the late 18th century, are often placed at the very heart of these conspiracies. The theory goes that Mayer Amschel Rothschild established a financial empire by placing his 5 sons in key European cities, creating a network that could influence wars, economies, and political decisions. It's said they financed both sides of conflicts, ensuring they profited no matter the outcome, and used their immense wealth to gain control over governments and central banks. Then you have the Rockefellers in America. John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil monopoly made his family fabulously wealthy. But according to the theory, their influence goes far beyond oil. It's claimed they used philanthropy as a tool for social engineering, funding institutions in medicine, education, and international relations to promote their vision for a new global order. Think of organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission. Conspiracy theories often point to these as Rockefeller-funded bodies designed to push for global governance, effectively eroding national sovereignty. The historical context for these ideas is fascinating. The original Bavarian Illuminati was a real secret society founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. It was a group of Enlightenment thinkers who opposed the power of the state and the church. Although it was officially disbanded just a decade later, the legend of the Illuminati never really died. It became a boogeyman, a symbol for any secret group believed to be manipulating society. Fast forward to the 20th century, a time of world wars, economic upheaval, and the rise of global institutions like the United Nations and the World Bank. This created fertile ground for theories about a hidden hand guiding these massive changes. Springmeier's work takes this a step further. He doesn't just talk about influence, he talks about bloodlines. The theory posits that these families are interlinked through marriage and shared heritage, preserving a specific genetic and ideological lineage. This isn't just about keeping wealth in the family, it's about maintaining a sacred, almost royal, bloodline that they believe gives them the right to rule. It's a very old-world concept of aristocracy, but applied to a modern, global stage. He even suggests these bloodlines can be traced back to ancient times, connecting them to royal families, mystery schools, and even biblical figures. Let's look at another family from the list, the DuPonts. Known for their chemical empire, the theory alleges their involvement goes much deeper. Starting as gunpowder manufacturers, they profited immensely from wars. Springmeier's theory suggests that, like the Rothschilds, they had a vested interest in global conflict. It's claimed their influence extended into the military-industrial complex and even into projects related to eugenics and population control, using their scientific and industrial power to further a secretive agenda. And what about the Kennedys? They're often seen as American royalty, but also as a family plagued by tragedy. The theory presents a different perspective. It suggests Joseph Kennedy Sr., the patriarch, made his fortune through less than savory means and was deeply connected to the power structures of the old world. His ambition to put a son in the White House is seen not just as a father's dream, but as part of a larger dynastic plan. The subsequent tragedies that befell the family are sometimes interpreted within this framework as internal power struggles or retaliation from rival factions within the elite. A crucial part of this whole theory is the idea of mind control. Springmeier dedicates a significant portion of his work to the idea that these families use sophisticated psychological techniques to maintain control. This is where things get really dark. He writes about programs allegedly pioneered by figures connected to these families, designed to create programmable individuals through trauma. This element of the theory is highly controversial and often overlaps with other conspiracies about covert government experiments. The idea is that control isn't just political or economic, it's also psychological, manipulating individuals and the public consciousness itself. Culturally, the bloodlines of the Illuminati taps into a deep-seated distrust of authority and a fascination with secret knowledge. We see echoes of it everywhere in pop culture in movies like the Da Vinci Code, video games like Assassin's Creed, and countless novels and TV shows. The idea of a hidden cabal of powerful families is a compelling narrative. It offers a simple explanation for a complex world. It can be comforting to believe that the chaos we see isn't random, but part of a plan, even if it's a sinister one. Skeptics, of course, have a lot to say. They argue that these theories are built on circumstantial evidence, leaps of logic, and guilt by association. Wealthy families naturally associate with each other, they sit on the same corporate boards, and they fund similar philanthropic causes. This doesn't necessarily prove a coordinated, centuries-old conspiracy. Historians point out that the original Bavarian Illuminati had very little in common with the modern myth and had no lasting power. Critics say that focusing on a few specific families, many of whom are Jewish like the Rothschilds, can also play into old, harmful anti-Semitic tropes about a global Jewish conspiracy. It's crucial to separate legitimate historical inquiry from prejudiced stereotypes. Furthermore, critics argue that the world is far too chaotic and complex for any small group of families to control. There are too many competing interest nations, corporations, social movements for a single agenda to dominate everything. They suggest that what looks like a conspiracy is often just the predictable outcome of a system, where wealth and power are concentrated at the top. The super-rich will naturally act to protect their interests. But that's different from a meticulously planned, multi-generational plot for world domination. So, where does that leave us? Are the bloodlines of the Illuminati a real, hidden force shaping our destiny? Or is it a modern-day myth? A grand conspiracy theory that helps us make sense of a world that often feels out of our control? The theory forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about power, wealth, and influence. How much control do these dynastic families really have? Is our society more of an aristocracy than we'd like to admit? Regardless of whether you believe the theory wholesale, it serves as a powerful allegory. It's a lens through which we can examine the very real issues of wealth inequality, corporate influence in politics, and the ways power perpetuates itself through generations. The names and the details might be the stuff of conspiracy, but the underlying theme that a small, unelected elite has a disproportionate amount of influence over the lives of billions is a conversation worth having. The story of the 13 bloodlines is a dark fairy tale for the modern age, one that reflects our deepest anxieties about who is truly in charge. What do you think? Are these families just successful dynasties, or is there something more to the story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's a complex topic with a lot of different viewpoints, and I'm curious to hear yours. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the shadows. If you found this exploration intriguing, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.